Thank you for watching, and remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for your support.
What that stands for, but I thought
we'll go with that.
We'll go with that. All right, today is Vinyl Record Day, so we're talking about records.
And for those who don't know what vinyl is,
cute.
but you gotta love the animals, just taking advantage of, us being away for some time.
That's true.
Yeah, good. More power to them. All right, welcome back here at America's Morning Headquarters. Thanks so much for sticking with us here. Now's the time of the day, a show where we pick our cities of the day. And how about we start off in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania? And I picked Philadelphia because, well, it's gonna be
It's gonna be hot, not because of the weather.
No, yeah, that's not the case.
Today, fingers crossed, right? Here we are in the Field of Dreams. Isn't this cool? This is a picture of it.
Is that the official? Is that it?
Yes.
Oh, pretty cool.
Yeah, this is it.
Wow.
The real deal. I wish I could walk right into it. I feel like I could, right, with their fancy graphics. But no, let's look at your forecast because there is no rain in the forecast. We were worried about that looking at the pattern this week, but we are looking good. Temps, not bad.
No, not at all. I mean, we're talking about it could be a lot worse. We'll start off in the mid-80s this late afternoon, then cooling off into the 70s. So by the time we get into those latter innings, should actually be pretty comfortable out there.
So the White Sox and Yankees are going to wear special uniforms for this.
I'm looking forward to seeing what that looks like.
All right, well, coming up, America's Morning Headquarters getting you ready for the week and weekend ahead all the way until noon. Dark, but then more water is covering roadways and you can't see how much water is there. You just have to find another route. So we have been dealing with the storms and the heat. Let's get to the heat and show you what's happening with this excessive heat warning that we have. Eastern Pennsylvania, a lot of New Jersey, pretty much the whole tri-state, southern New England, Boston, yes, an excessive heat warning. Temperatures are up at levels we do not usually get to. I mean, this happens. It's not necessarily a record, but it doesn't happen every year. And Boston 96 with a feels like up above the century mark. We're dealing with that again today. DC, same deal, 99 degrees with a feels like well beyond 100. Dealing with that today. And all those spots with temperatures in the 90s. In fact, let me back up one because I forgot to mention this. These are all the spots with temperatures in the 90s. But why don't these other areas have temps in the 90s? Buffalo, why only 83 degrees today? Well, we got some clouds and we have some rain, and that is going to help keep down those temperatures a little bit. So we are not going to get the storms here for the brunt of the day. Boston, we've got the slight chance, but mainly we spend a lot of our day in the sunshine, and so things are warming up pretty much throughout the day here unabated. But then you look to central and western New York and you look at western Pennsylvania, we will have some thunderstorms, we will have some clouds, and that will help keep our temperatures down just a bit as well. Plus, I think a little influence maybe from the water there too. But we've got temps that even in the overnight are going to stay warm in DC, in Philadelphia. Those urban areas will be having that urban heat island effect, which keeps us warm overnight. Now, thunderstorms today across western and central New York could go severe. Also across central and western Iowa, Illinois, I should say, into eastern Iowa, down to northern Missouri. Chicago, we've got the chance of thunderstorms, one more chance, and then we'll bring this front through. And it does look like the severe weather risk here is lower for us today. Because of all the storms that we've had over the past 2 days, past 3 days really, still power outages and a lot in Michigan, still leading the list with 690,000. We've got nearly 1 million customers without power. Alex,
how do you balance it out?
How do you balance that out? All right, well, we'll get to that at some point. Let's get to the tropics. We have Tropical Depression Fred. It's under here somewhere.
Yeah, you find the center, right? It's tough to tell where it is at this point. This the island really did a number on it as it made its way across the island of Hispaniola. But you can see where it is now. Still a circulation, just nothing really firing up around it at the moment. I
mean, you can see the swirl on the visible satellite. You just, from an infrared, there's no deep convection or thunderstorm activity. So what we got to watch, though, is it's back out over water. It's likely to spend more time over water. Still some interaction with Cuba at play. But as we get into the next, I would say, 36 hours, it really has an opportunity to get back into tropical storm status.
So, yeah, we're going to be watching it. That's why there are tropical storm watches still up in a few areas. You can see the projected path, maybe just north of Cuba here, the center of the circulation moving, and then Florida Straits, Keys, Peninsula Florida, and down the road early next week, parts of the southeast as well. Now, big thing we're going to be watching, Jen, is what happens. Does it move over land here in the peninsula, or does it stay over the eastern Gulf waters?
Yeah, water time's a big deal. I mean, the more water water time it gets, especially just off the south coast there of the west side of Florida. That's where water temperatures are very warm, and it would definitely have the opportunity. But all things, considered, we have to look at the wind shear at that point when it's over here in the atmosphere. We know that regardless of the strength of the system, rain will be a concern. 3 to 5 inches very widespread. This is zero model, which brings it just a little more to the west compared to the GFS.
Yeah, that has us there in the southeast coast. So a bit of a bullseye here just north of Miami. Maybe 8 to 12 inches of rain. That's a lot of rain coming down in that period of time. So we'll see. We'll continue to fine tune that forecast, but get ready. At least be prepared for, at the very least, some heavy rain.
And we have this. There's another area to watch out here in the Atlantic. 60% chance of development within the next 5 days. It's only 30% over the next 2. So have patience with this one too. But you notice that it's following almost the same path as Fred did.
Yeah, so it could be a bit of a 1-2 punch when it comes to tropical systems.
Well, be sure to stay with
the weekend here, and Jen, it looks like we're getting pretty close to it.
I mean, it's Friday Eve. It's Thursday, right?
Still a chance for storms in Chicago for this afternoon.
Oh, and Illinois is starting to get stormy right now with some warnings. So be careful with that. We are going to see storms sagging south. Chicago gets in the clear. The front comes through, and it will be through for the weekend for the Midwest.
All right. Continue.